Hi, and welcome. You're listening to the X22 Report. My name is Dave, and this is episode 2478, and today's date is May 14th, 2021, and the title of the episode is Central Bank Panic Over Choice, Inflation Fear Soars, The Awakening. Let's talk about protecting your wealth. So, you don't get the chance to buy sunken treasure every day, do you? Noble Gold has secured some of the original 20 Liberty coins found in the wreck carried up from the SS Central America on the seabed. The fabled ship of gold sank in 1857 along with 10 tons of California gold rush treasure. Imagine you can have a chunk of this exclusive time capsule from the depths yourself now. Call Noble Gold at 877-646-5347 to reserve your treasure. That's 877-646-5347 or click the link in the description. Let's get into the economic collapse financial news. Now, the deep state, the private Western Central Bank, the fake news, the corrupt politicians, they've been led down this path, which is a trap by the patriots. I do believe that Trump and the patriots, they knew from the very beginning what the entire playbook was. I mean, we saw snippets of what they're planning. We knew the Great Reset was coming. We knew they were planning on the climate agenda. But Trump and those people working behind him, they knew the actual playbook, the in and outs of what they were going to do. And what better way to show the American people, to bring the people together and let them see everything that they have planned, especially when it comes to the economy. Because when the American people start to see inflation, which is the devaluation of the dollar, people, they notice it. They become worried. And actually, when we start to look at the U.S. consumer confidence, it is plunged. Why? Because people, they're worried about inflation. They're starting to see it, especially with what happened at the Colonial Pipeline, where we had dark side cyber attack the pipeline. Now, I do believe that Trump and the patriots, they knew that the deep state, the central banks, they were going to push their agenda of driving prices up to mask what is really happening. Plus, the other part of the agenda was to bring us into their climate agenda. How do you do that? Well, you need to show the people that fossil fuels, they're becoming too expensive. Everything that we're witnessing right now, inflation, has nothing to do with Biden's policy, but it has everything to do with the cyber attacks. And that's why the energy secretary came out and said, listen, if you're driving an electrical vehicle, you wouldn't have to worry about this. Trump and the patriots, they knew all of this was going to go down. Now, what's very interesting about DarkSide, they made an announcement that they're no longer going to hack anything. Now, we know that this was a clown operation. When you start to look at what is going on around the world today, and we'll talk a lot more about this in the next report, in the political and geopolitical report, but when you start to look around that where everything is happening all at once, there's this entire plan to flush out the clown network. Remember, they're in the dark shadows. They're hiding. But to push their agenda, their economic agenda, the Great Reset, the climate change, they need to come out of from the shadows, and they need to come out into the open. And this is when the patriots strike. Why do you think DarkSide came out and said we're not going to be hacking anymore? Because they were taken care of. And Trump, he knew that once Biden got in, and he allowed him to get in, he knew what was going to happen. I'm expecting a lot more, because the people have to see the truth. They have to see it. Otherwise, if you just tell them, if you go back a couple of years ago and you told people, hey, by the way, Klaus Schwab, with others, they want to do a complete and utter reset of the system. And this is what it entails. They would look at you like you're absolutely crazy. But if you show the people, and you have these individuals that hide in the shadows come out and tell you this is what we're planning to do, well, then people pay attention. If you show people inflation, people pay attention. And when people see the inflation, this is a hidden tax. What is this going to do? It's going to rob them of their earnings, of their savings, of their investments. Yes, and people are going to notice this, and they'll notice it very easily. I mean, take, for example, what is happening now with the cyber attack on the Colonial Pipeline. People in certain states, they're seeing the gas prices move up. Some places it's at $6.99 per gallon. Now, were the gas prices going to hit this area anyhow? Yes, they were, but they can, and I'm talking about the deep state, the central bank, they used a cyber attack to mask this, but people are still seeing it. They're still noticing it. And Mike Pompeo, he tweeted this out. Biden continues to think pallets of cash are the answer. You could never become the mark when ransom is the cost of doing business. We know the consequences. If you pay them, there will be more of them. And he's absolutely right. Yeah, when other hacking groups see this and they hear this, they say, wow, we can get paid and they'll actually do it. So then you're going to have all different hacking groups come out and say, let's hack something because they'll pay up. Let's talk about protecting your wealth. So you don't get the chance to buy sunken treasure every day, do you? Noble Gold has secured some of the original 20 Liberty coins found in the wreck carried up from the SS Central America on the seabed. The fabled ship of gold sank in 1857 along with 10 tons of California gold rush treasure. Imagine you can have a chunk of this exclusive time capsule from the depths yourself now. Call Noble Gold at 877-646-5347 to reserve your treasure. That's 877-646-5347 or click the link in the description. And this is what Mike Pompeo is talking about. Now, the reason why I do believe that the Patriots wanted everyone to see this is because we know that the system is completely falling apart. It's imploding. And the central bankers, the deep state, they have to move as quickly as possible to bring us into this great reset. And by everyone seeing this, by everyone experiencing it, people can make a choice of what they want to do. And it's also going to flush out certain individuals where you're going to see their true colors, where they might have been hiding behind the curtain, pretending that, yeah, they're all for something, and then all of a sudden they do the old switcheroo. If you look at Elon Musk, which is very interesting, he came out and he said he was all for Bitcoin. You can purchase one of his cars with Bitcoin. And then all of a sudden, everything changed. He said, well, to mine Bitcoin, it takes way too much energy. And that is not good for the environment. Well, to mine gold and silver, it takes energy. Actually, if you really think about it, anything that's worth anything takes energy, takes time. Think about it for a sec. If you're going to mine gold and silver, it takes energy and time. If you're going to create a masterpiece in art, it takes human energy and time. If you're going to create an incredible classical piece of music, it takes energy and time. If you're going to be an Olympic gold medalist, it takes energy and time to create those skills. If you want to create currency from the central bank, there is no energy. It doesn't take any time. That tells you everything you need to know. So when they say, well, it takes a lot of energy, yes, because unlike the central bank, you just don't push a button and it appears right in front of you. I mean, think about what they did before the computer systems. They took paper and they put ink on it and they just ran it off and they just kept on printing and printing. Did it really take that much energy? No. Did it take that much time? No. And now it's even easier for them. There's no mining. It just, okay, what do we want? $1 trillion? No problem. 1,000. Boom. $1 trillion. Took us, 30 seconds. Got it. Done. So when he says this, it's the complete opposite of what's really happening. Now, what's very interesting is that the co-creator of Dogecoin, this individual came out and actually took a swipe at Elon Musk, calling him a self-absorbed grifter. Now, this new coin, it looks like Coinbase is going to be offering it, and we might see some incredible things. And when we talk about cryptocurrency, we're talking about a lot of different forms of cryptocurrency, not just Bitcoin. So when you see this, you can see there's a lot of things happening all at once. Now, Elon, he came out and he actually showed his true colors because he tweeted this out on May 13, 2021. It says, "It is high time there was a carbon tax." Really? We need a carbon tax? Isn't that part of the climate change agenda, the Great Reset agenda? Yes, it is. That tells you everything you need to know. Now, what's very interesting, out of Market Watch, there's an article that says, Weekend Reads, "Is Bitcoin the new gold?" Which I find very interesting because, again, it takes a lot of horsepower to mine Bitcoin. It just doesn't appear out of thin air. Same thing with mining gold. It takes a lot of equipment, fossil fuel, to mine gold. It just doesn't just appear. And what I get from this is that when Q tells us that gold will destroy the central bank, what is Q actually talking about? Physical gold? Bitcoin, or both together? Maybe it's all the above. But we know this is exactly what the private Western central banks are so afraid of. Because for the first time in a very, very long time, people have a choice. People have a way out. They have a way out of the private Western central bank system. They have a way to protect their wealth. Yes, I do believe that gold and silver is an incredible way. It's a store of wealth. Actually, look what gold's doing right now. It's moving up. Yes, I do believe that they'll try to push this down. We might see that in the next couple of days. Maybe it'll hit 1900 and all of a sudden they'll push it down. But I do believe that is an incredible store of wealth. I don't believe one thing over another is the best avenue. I think diversification is the best way. That's my personal opinion. But for the first time ever, the people have the ability to transfer their wealth into something completely different. Now, if there was a gold run to try to get the physical gold, it would be very, very difficult. But people have the ability with a push of a button now to protect themselves. And I think this is what the private Western central bankers are so worried about. This is why they've been pushing so hard. And they'll continue to push. Remember, this is a battle for the next currency, for the next economic system. One system that will be controlled by the private Western central bank. This is what they want. They want to take everyone and transition us into their new Great Reset climate change agenda system. And then you have the people's economy, where the people control it all. The people decide. There is no borrowing. We're not going to a private corporation and borrowing currency with interest attached, where now we have to pay for that interest via taxes. So we have this battle going on. And remember, the private Western central bank, they won't give up. And the people, they won't give up, because now they have a front row seat to see everything that's going on. And they will be able to make a decision. The people, the patriots, they are in control. Listen, everyone, thanks a lot for listening. Be well, be safe, and especially be prepared. Thanks a lot.